Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Today we will talk about how psychological counseling is helping people recover from mental challenges during COVID. We will also go over to Agartala, where Durga Puja is being celebrated with pomp and gaiety. Durga Puja, the biggest festival of Bengali Hindus, is being celebrated in Tripura since the times of the Maharajas. Agartala city has already earned a good name for organizing big-ticket puja pandals, and this year too there are no exceptions. All the prominent roads are adorned with impressive lighting. Overall, the city wears a look of celebration and festivity. When the dhak beats reach to their highest crescendo with people dancing to its tune, holding dhunuchi in both hands, the real flavor of Durga Puja is experienced everywhere. Apart from that, eateries, stand-alone shops and other cultural outfits also add to the beauty and the air of festivity. But since the threat of infection is still hovering, Puja is being celebrated with strict adherence to the COVID-19 norms. Let's go to our Agartala correspondent,
Tripura being inhabited by different communities and tribes, the festival does not only mean offering worship to Mata Durga. Rather, it reveals the bonding of attachment of mixed population belonging to races and languages. Here, the festival is celebrated by all communities irrespective of caste and religion with different special features. Service to marginalized people such as orphans, physically challenged and destitute people remains a special way of celebrating the Puja festival in Tripura. Local clubs and organizations like Anik Sangha, Milan Chakra Club, Sangati Club, Aage Chalo Sangha celebrate the puja only by donating clothes and distributing food among poor and impoverished children, elders and destitute people. More interestingly, in some places like Durganagar in the Sonamura subdivision, the puja is organized by Muslims, while in Mulapara Agartala, a Muslim-dominated hamlet, Hindu and Muslim people organize the puja hand in hand. Therein, pujas, rites and rituals are performed by a Hindu priest and the race events are managed by the Muslim people. In several places, tribal people organize the puja wherein the local people as a single community participates in the puja festivity actively. For Northeast Diary, this is Rina Nomaitem from Agartala.
It is now well understood that COVID-19 pandemic has miserably affected lives all over the world. Above all, the pandemic has also brought in a byproduct, psychological impact and trauma. Many doctors say that the psychological effects and trauma, a result of the pandemic, may have a far-reaching effect upon many people. To address this health problem, many state governments have been providing psychological counseling to the people in need. Let us hear a report on this from our Aizawl correspondent.
In many cases, the pandemic has caused untimely deaths, resulting in psychological trauma among families and closed ones. To address the problem of psychological impact among the people, Mizoram Health Minister Dr. Lal Thangliana formed a committee on psychological and social guidance last year. And this psychological and social guidance program is recognized by many people as most effective for the people affected by COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, General Secretary of the Committee on Psychological and Social Guidance, Dr. Zotan Zami, gave details of the programs and activities run by a group of psychologists and sociologists in the state to address the COVID-borne anxiety, stigma and trauma.
our committee started organizing talk shows in DDK and local TV channels on various psychological and issues related to COVID-19 in order to educate a larger section of the population. The Psychological Counseling Cell was formed under the coordination of me and Dr. Rimwati. Clinical psychologists and psychologists volunteered under this committee. They were in charge of all quarantine centers, providing psychological counseling to those in need and also act as mediators between the government employees and the quarantines who are mostly students, children, migrant workers. With the onset of the second wave this year, committee started re-educating the people on the state of the virus and its mutated nature, the need for vaccination, the importance of further precautionary measures, and life in the new normal. The Psychological Counseling Cell has also taken further initiatives with placements of psychologists in different COVID care centers and hospitals. Online counseling has been made available to all inmates in these centers as well as those living in containment zones. We have also started making small video clips regarding issues in COVID-19, and we have also started having TV shows on various TV channels and also talk shows in various FM channels and radio.
Dr. Zothanzami said that psychology counseling is being provided by them to the quarantined people and patients' families too, and this is still going on. She said living with the pandemic along with lockdown and containment caused a sort of psychological disbalance in many people, and they have recovered with a psychologist providing them counseling, exercise and tips so as to counter the mental effects. For Northeast Diary, this is Irene from Aizawl.
Determination and hard work always pay, and it has been proven time and again by many people who have succeeded in their field of work. This story revolves around a girl who became a well-known fashion designer in the Northeast, despite the hurdles she had to face, and becoming a beacon of inspiration for women in the fashion industry. Let's hear more from our Meghalaya correspondent.
Clarita Momin was always inspired by her father to be creative in any field from a tender age. Despite not having a formal education, she somehow managed to help her family by working as a customer care executive. The hunger for designing infused with creativity gave her an opportunity to study fashion in the Initiative for Livelihood Education and Development, or commonly known as iLead. The institute caters to promoting livelihood education among the youth from poor families and those with low educational qualifications through short-term trainings in new and emerging occupations. iLead aims at building capacities of youth from economically weakest section of the society in market-oriented employability and entrepreneurship skills. After joining and completing the courses offered by iLead, it polished her skills and gave the confidence to pursue her career in fashion industry. She participated in different events where she got the opportunity to present her designs. It was in 2019 at the Silver Jubilee celebration of Naga House in Shillong where she got the big break, she recalled. Later, she got the opportunity to present her designs in numerous fashion shows organized all across the region while working with the reputed Daniel Siem's fashion house.
In future, if I get opportunity, then I really want to open my own boutique, and I want to help lots of women and girls who are needed, like girls after they drop their classes, 8 or 10, or housewife women. As a fashion designer, I can guide them. They can learn from me. I can teach them for stitching, hand embroidery, painting. There's a varieties that you can learn.
The young designer, though at a nascent stage, hopes to inspire and give handholdings to those who are interested in this industry. This is Rustam for Northeast Diary from AIR News Shillong.
From painting and covering the school walls with colorful and educative information for students to convincing parents about the importance of education, 47-year-old Swedesuno Zhao, the head teacher of the government middle school Zakhama under Kohima district in Nagaland, has received the prestigious National Teachers Award 2021 for her dedication in transforming the school this Teachers' Day. Zhao was among the 44 teachers from different states across India who were selected for the award. More from our Kohima correspondent.
A mother of two, Sedesono Zhao, head teacher of government middle school Jakama in Kohima district, have been in the teaching profession for the last 24 years, who have transformed the rural school of her village by adopting art-integrated learning with local activity to enhance understanding among students. Besides this innovative approach of teaching, she also started visiting her villagers door to door, propagating the importance of education. Today, this small rural school, which was established in 1920, also one of the oldest schools in Nagaland, has seen increased enrollment of students. Presently, the government middle school Jakama has now 180 students enrollment with 17 teaching staff. Let's hear more from Ms. Sedesono Zhao.
I feel so happy being recognized by Government of India for the National Teachers Award 2021. But at the same time, it reminds me of my new responsibility to be more sincere and to work more harder for my students, for my locality in days to come. Working in the midday meal kitchen garden with the students, planting flowers, beautification of school campus, working in the paddy field with students during summer vacation, basket making apart with life skills activities, and then annually we conduct literary day, cultural day, outing. These are some of the activities which we conduct in our schools. I want to encourage our students to work hard, to be more sincere, as self-effort is the need of the time in this challenging situation.
With her sheer dedication and her love for teaching, Ms. Sedesono Zhao has today shown an exemplary for many young teachers in Nagaland that learning can be made more interesting and fun for students. For Northeast Diary, this is Asonyo from AIR News Kohima.
Sikkim's youths have been taking noticeable steps in the state's small but fast emerging entertainment and fashion industries. Events and opportunities in these sectors have also converted into entrepreneurship in the state capital, Gangtok, in the form of fashion studios and boutiques. A report.
Gangtok-based Jeremy Rai is among the selected few entrepreneurs who started his venture at a very young age. Model Tony Mahfood inspired him to take up fashion and designing. Jeremy's wide interest evolved into a venture named Jeremy's Layout, which is based on designing and selling hand-painted customized clothes and artworks, including leather bags, leather jackets, denim jeans, denim jackets, t-shirts and shoes. 25-year-old Jeremy now plans to open a store and completely immerse himself in creative fashion. Jeremy shares his journey.
My venture is all about fashion and designing, customizing things like jacket, bags, pants, t-shirts, so on. I'm a huge fan of Tony Mahfood. He is a model as well as an artist. And I've always been, very much enthusiastic towards fashion. And I've worked as a model for the past few years. And I always wanted to do something, something creative on fashion and designing. So yeah, this is how my venture started. It's Jeremy's Layout now. Currently, I'm running my business through social media, nowadays online platforms like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. So I'm looking forward to open my store in future in Gangtok itself, and I've completed my schooling from TNSS School, Sir Tasi Namgyal Senior Secondary School, Gangtok, and my graduation from Sikkim Government College, Tadung, Gangtok. And yeah, I'm currently focused on taking my venture into a good level. My message for all the youth and the people who are living in Sikkim, we should acknowledge the talent which we have and, be creative, come up with new different ideas, and also all the people living in Sikkim should support the local businesses.
Before starting his new venture, Jeremy worked as a model, which drew him towards creative fashion. Going forward, he wants to motivate people around him with his creativity and support local entrepreneurs. With Sekat Sarkar, this is Baija Sharma for Northeast Diary from AIR News Sikkim.
As part of the celebration of 75 years of India's independence, the News Services Division of All India Radio is bringing out news-based programs on nation's freedom fighters. In today's Northeast Diary, we bring to you an interesting story of freedom fighters from Manipur who joined the INA and took part in the Imphal campaign during the Second World War. It is a story of a couple who joined the INA and fought against the British for the independence of India. Let's hear more from our Imphal correspondent, JJ Thokchom.
Manipur is a land of courageous people, and they never let down when it comes to the question of its independence. During the British colonial period, Manipuris always waited for a chance to drive them from India, and the right opportunity came when Indian National Army, INA or Azad Hind Force captured Moirang of Manipur during the Second World War. Many Manipuris went to Moirang and joined INA and took part in the Imphal campaign of INA during the war, and among them is a couple from Oinam village of Bishnupur district. Sri Wangkhem Gyaneshwar and his wife Oinam Kanya joined the Bahadur intelligence group under Colonel Shaukat Ali Malik of INA. Oinam Kanya was one of only a few Manipuri women who joined Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose force and worked at the Moirang war front for about 3 months. She was around 24 years old at that time. When the INA retreated to Rangul, she also went to Rangul and began to work in Rani Jhansi regiment and was promoted as a knight. But she was captured by the Anglo-American force on 1st May 1945 and she was taken as a war prisoner in Rangul Central Jail. Speaking to Northeast Diary, political analyst Dr. K.H. Gaurachandra said that Oinam Kaina also took part in Nupi Lal or Women War against the British and later joined INA.
Wangkhem Gyaneshwar su INA gi maruoiba.
Her husband Wangkhem Gyaneshwar is also an important person of INA. Srimati O Kainya had patriotic zeal since her childhood. She also took part in the second Nupi Lal, fought against the British in 1939. The contribution given by O Kainya for the motherland would be remembered by our generations. She expired at her residence in Oinam.
She was released from Rangul Jail on March 23, 1946 after the Red Fort trial was over and reached Imphal in next month. Srimati Oinam Kanya is no more with us, but her valor has still enshrined in every blood of Manipuri. This is JJ Thokchom from Imphal for Northeast Diary, AIR News.
Anshu Jamsenta is an Arunachali mountaineer and the first woman in the world to scale the summit of Mount Everest twice in a season and the fastest double summiter to do so within 5 days. She was awarded India's 4th highest civilian award, the Padma Shri, in 2021. Anshu shares her experience with us on the challenges and hardships she had to face while summiting the Mount Everest.
अंशु जी नमस्ते।
नमस्कार।
अंशु जी, आपने जो मसाल कायम किया है अरुणाचल प्रदेश से इस इंटीरियर जगह से 5 बार आपने माउंट एवरेस्ट का समिट किया है, तो ये सफर कैसा रहा, हम शुरुआत से जानना चाहेंगे।
जिस समय पे मैंने शुरुआत किया था उस टाइम पे लोगों को माउंटेनियरिंग के बारे में इतना जानकारी नहीं थे जितना अभी है, तो वो जानकारी नहीं होने के कारण सबसे पहले तो मुझे डिस्करेजमेंट, नेगेटिविटी, ये सब बहुत कुछ सहना पड़ा। लोग सवाल करते थे कि आप क्यों कर रहे हैं, चीज को करने का क्या फायदा है, पर मैं बहुत क्लियर थी कि मुझे क्या करना है, कहाँ तक पहुँचना है, इससे क्या फायदा होगा, तो वो क्लियरिटी मेरे दिमाग में थी। तो इस वजह से मुझे जब भी अगर मैं डिस्करेज हो भी जाती थी तो मैं फिर अपने आप को सेल्फ मोटिवेट करती थी कि नहीं, एक समय आएगा, सब लोगों को पता चलेगा कि मैं किस फील्ड से जुड़ी हूँ, इसे करने का क्या लाभ है। तो उस चीज को लेकर सेल्फ मोटिवेट करके मैं आगे बढ़ती रही। फिर दूसरा जो सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज अगर मैं बोलूँ तो वो फाइनेंशियल चैलेंज थी, क्योंकि माउंटेनियरिंग बहुत ही एक्सपेंसिव स्पोर्ट्स है, इसमें बहुत बड़ा अमाउंट चाहिए था आपको एवरेस्ट को क्लाइम करने के लिए। उसके लिए फिर मुझे जॉइंट नोट बनाकर हमारे जितने भी एमएलए हैं उनका सिग्नेचर लेके डोर टू डोर जाना, उनको अप्रोच करना, फिर मेरे जो वेल विशर्स फ्रेंड्स थे उनका भी मुझे हेल्प लेना पड़ा। बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज था, बट उन सारी चैलेंजों को ओवरकम किया मैंने एंड फाइनली 2011 में मैं एवरेस्ट के लिए जा पाई। और जब मैं जा रही थी तब भी लोगों का ये था कि ये एक महिला है और 2 बच्चों की माँ है तो शायद ये नहीं क्लाइम कर पाएंगे, मतलब किसी को भी मेरे ऊपर भरोसा नहीं था। सबको लगता था कि मैं बेस कैंप से ही वापस आ जाऊंगी, पर जैसे मैंने सबमिट किया तो फिर वहाँ पे 2011 में मैंने 10 दिन के अंदर 2 बार क्लाइम किया, तो वो एक रिकॉर्ड बना। ऐसे करके फिर लोगों को भरोसा हुआ, फिर जो लोग नेगेटिव बोलते थे वही लोग आगे बढ़ के उन्होंने मुझे कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट किया।
अंशु जी, आपने अपने आप जब तय कर लिया कि हम माउंट एवरेस्ट में जाएंगे, उस टाइम में आप 2 बच्चे की माँ थी, उस टाइम में आपका उम्र कितना था?
32 जी, 29 में मैंने शुरुआत किया था, 32 में मेरा एवरेस्ट सबमिट हुआ था।
तो आपके मन में एक ख्याल कैसे आया कि हम एवरेस्ट जाएंगे? उससे पहले आपने कौन सा स्पोर्ट्स से जुड़ा हुआ था और आपने आपको कैसे मतलब कन्विंस किया कि हम ये कर सकते हैं?
सबसे पहले तो आपने बोला कि ख्याल कहाँ से आया, तो इसका ऐसे एक्चुअली मैं काफी एक्टिव थी शादी के बाद भी। मैं अपने हस्बैंड के जो बिजनेस है उनको मैं संभाल रही थी, बच्चों को देखभाल करना, तो सारा रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी जो था वो मेरे कंधे पे ही था। मेरे हस्बैंड जो है टूरिज्म प्रमोशन को लेके वो ट्रैवल करते रहते थे मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम। जो भी सिचुएशन था, प्रॉब्लम्स थे, उसको मैं हैंडल करती थी। साइड बाय साइड में सोशल काम में भी काफी एक्टिव थी, तो वहाँ पे मैं कुछ ना कुछ इवेंट वगैरह ऑर्गेनाइज करते थे यूथ को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, इस टाइप का। तो एक सोशल माइंडेड आप कह सकते हो, तो ये था ये। और मुझे लगता है आपने पीछे मुड़ के देखते हो तो ये कहाँ से ऐसा सोच आता था, सोचती हूँ तो मेरे शायद मैं अपने मदर से काफी इन्फ्लुएंस थी। मेरी मम्मी भी काफी मतलब ये थी, लोगों को हेल्प करना, इस तरह का उनका मतलब नेचर था, तो शायद ये मेरे अंदर भी थे। और प्लस एडवेंचर तो मुझे लगता है कि मेरे ब्लड में ही था बचपन से ही, क्योंकि कुछ भी अगर एडवेंचर की बात करूँ तो मैं काफी एक्साइटेड हो जाती थी। तो ये था कि लाइफ जो है वो बहुत प्रीशियस है, कुछ करना चाहिए, आपको समाज के लिए भी कुछ करना चाहिए। तो ये सारी जो सोच जो था, इसी सोच की वजह से ही तो मैं हमेशा हर चीज में आगे बढ़ चढ़ कर पार्टिसिपेट करती रहती। तो ऐसे ही एक प्रोग्राम में फिर मुझे माउंटेनियरिंग के बारे में पता चला, और फाइनली जब माउंटेनियरिंग के बारे में पता चला तो मुझे लगा कि यही मेरी कॉलिंग है। तो इसी के थ्रू मैं जो जो करना चाहती हूँ सब कुछ कर सकती हूँ, मुझे ऐसा महसूस हुआ। जो हमारे वहाँ पे पोटेंशियल है उसके बारे में मुझे पता चला। तो ये चीज था जो मुझे मोटिवेट करते रहते थे हमेशा। और ऐसा बहुत सारे बुरा वक्त भी आया, बहुत मुझे लगा कि डेड एंड, मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगी, इतना अपने आप को पुश नहीं कर पाऊंगी, इधर मॉरली हो या फिजिकली हो, इमोशनली हो। बट फिर हमेशा ये सोचती रहती थी कि नहीं, एक अच्छे काम को लेके मैंने शुरुआत किया है तो भगवान है, वो देख रहा है, मतलब अपने भगवान के ऊपर से अपने ऊपर, मतलब ये ऐसा ही वही बोल सकते हैं आप एक। तो वही चीज। और देन प्लस दूसरी चीज ये थी कि क्लियरिटी, जैसे मैंने बोला कि मुझे पता था कि क्या करना है, मुझे कहाँ तक मैं पहुंचना चाहती हूँ। तो वो क्लियरिटी होने की वजह से ही मैं कर पाई हूँ आज तक मैंने जो कुछ भी किया है।
मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ कि पहली बार जब एवरेस्ट में आप सबमिट किया, जब सबसे दुनिया का सबसे ऊंचाई जो जगह है उसमें पहुंचने के बाद आपके मन में क्या ख्याल आया था?
उस टाइम पे मौसम बहुत ही खराब थे, तो फिर हम लोगों को बोला गया था कि बाकी जो लोग हैं 90% लोग जो है वो वापस चले गए हैं, और आप लोग भी वापस चलिए, क्योंकि आगे जाना मतलब है, बचने का कोई चांसेस नहीं। अगर बच भी गए तो आप लोगों का हाथ पैर सही सलामत आप लोग नहीं रहेंगे। तो ऐसा कंडीशन में थे हम लोग। लेकिन मैं इतना डिटरमाइन था, और सब लोग मुझे पूछते हैं कि आप किस तरह से मतलब डिटरमाइन रहते हो ऐसे सिचुएशन में। तो फिर मैं भी बोलती हूँ कि लाइफ में वहां तक पहुंचने के लिए मुझे इतना संघर्ष करना पड़ा, उसके बाद फिर वो संघर्ष मुझे कुछ नहीं लगा उस मोमेंट पे, कि इतना संघर्ष के बाद मैं यहाँ पहुंची तो आगे और थोड़ा संघर्ष करना ही कुछ समय की बात है, ये तो कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा मुझे महसूस हुआ उस टाइम पे। तो फिर मैंने बोला कि नहीं, मुझे तो जाना है, मुझे सबमिट करना है करके फिर हम लोग आगे बढ़े। तो मैं सबसे पहले थी, फिर मेरे पीछे मेरे शेरपा थे, तो उसके बाद पाकिस्तानी एक थे, उनका पहला रिकॉर्ड हुआ कि वो पहले पाकिस्तानी बने। तो उन्होंने जब देखा कि एक महिला होकर ये आगे बढ़ रही है तो मैं क्यों नहीं, तो वो भी हमारे पीछे आए। बट उनका शेरपा जो झिझक रहे थे वो काफी देर नीचे बैठा रहा, वो नहीं आया। ऐसे करके फिर धीरे धीरे करके कुछ लोग हमारे साथ में आए, जुड़े, ऐसे करके हम लोग समिट में पहुंचे। और जब समिट में पहुंचे तो हमारा तो विजिबिलिटी बहुत कम थे, तो वहाँ पे जो हमारा ट्रेडिशनल फ्लैग थे वो लगा हुआ था। तो मुझे बोला गया, मेरे शेरपा ने बोला कि यही है समिट पर, हम लोग पहुंच गए। तो उस वक्त तो पूरा मतलब गुड बम सा मुझे आया। फिर एक स्पिरिचुअल फीलिंग वो हमेशा रहते हैं, हर किसी भी पिक में मैं जाऊँ तो हमेशा रहता है कि भगवान का आशीर्वाद है, भगवान के घर पहुंच गया, ये फीलिंग हमेशा आता है। तो ये हुआ। बट फिर ऐसा था कि हम लोगों को जल्दी जल्दी सेम रूट से सेफली वापस आना, उसमें फिर आपका करीब 12 घंटा मतलब 15 घंटा लग जाते हैं लोगों को उतरने में। तो फिर मुझे था कि नहीं, हम लोगों को सेफली वापस आना है। तो हम लोगों ने कुछ भी उस टाइम पे हम लोगों को खाने का पीने का ऐसा कुछ भी मतलब ध्यान नहीं रहा, बस सेफली वहाँ पे जाना है। फोटो खींचना था हम लोगों को, प्रूफ के लिए फोटो वगैरह खींचना पड़ता है। तो वो फोटो खींचा, लकीली 5 कैमरा में से एक ही कैमरा काम किया, और वो कैमरा भी बंद हो गया कुछ फोटो हम लोग लेने के बाद में। ऐसे करके फिर हम लोग नीचे उतर के आए।
वो एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में थोड़ा बताइए कि एवरेस्ट में शायद 3 दिन साइलेंट होगा, कोई आवाज नहीं आ रहा है, हवा तेज है, तो रात भर आप लोग सफर करते थे, वो क्लाइंबिंग करते थे, वो कैसा एक्सपीरियंस है उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए।
इसमें ऐसा होता है जैसे अभी किसी का स्पीड स्लो होता है, किसी का फिजिकल कंडीशन अलग होता है, तो उसी हिसाब से हम लोग साउथ कोल पहुंचने के बाद डिसाइड करते हैं कि कितने बजे शुरू करने से हम लोग समिट में पहुंचेंगे, क्योंकि हमारा ये कि 12 बजे से पहले हम सबमिट करके वापस आए। तो उसमें ऑलवेज मतलब ये होता है कि 12 बजे के बाद जो है मौसम खराब हो जाते हैं और हम बोलते हैं कि सबमिट नहीं करना चाहिए क्योंकि वो रिस्क फैक्टर बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाते हैं
जी।
तो उसी हिसाब से जैसे आप बहुत स्लो है तो आप 6 बजे स्टार्ट करेंगे, 5 बजे करेंगे, वो इंडिविजुअल के हिसाब से देख के। तो यूजुअली नॉर्मली जो होता है वो 7, 7:30, 8 बजे इस तरह का। तो पूरे रात हम लोगों को चलना करीब 16-18 घंटा तो मिनिमम मतलब चलना पड़ता है। तो उस वक्त वही है, हवा चल रहा होता है। साउथ कोल में तो हवा तो रहते हैं, जब भी मैं गया अभी तक 5 बार जब मैं गया तो हवा तो रहता ही। एक ही बार था 2011 में जब मैं सेकंड अटेम्प्ट के लिए गई थी, सेकंड टाइम, तो उस वक्त हवा नहीं था, मौसम बहुत अच्छा था। और जब मौसम अच्छा रहता है तो फिर आपका क्लाइंबिंग एक्सपीरियंस भी टोटली डिफरेंट हो जाता है। वो इट मेक्स अ वास्ट डिफरेंस, आपको बहुत क्लाइंब को जो बहुत इजी कर देते हैं। तो मेरा तो 5 बार में 4 अटेम्प्ट तो बहुत ही एक्सट्रीम कंडीशन में मैंने नहीं किया।
अंशु जी, हम आपको बहुत बधाई देते हैं और हमें खुशी है कि अरुणाचल प्रदेश से आपने एक इंटरनेशनल रिकॉर्ड होल्डर है जो माउंट एवरेस्ट में 5 बार समिट किया है अभी तक, और नॉर्थ ईस्ट डायरी में आपने हमसे बातचीत किया। आपको बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ।
For North East Diary with Mukul Pathak, this is Rakesh Dole, Itanagar.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
भारत के स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में अनगिनत स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने अपने प्राणों की आहुति दी, कुछ इतिहास में अमर हो गए और कई गुमनाम। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के अंतर्गत 75 कड़ियों की श्रृंखला में हम उन वीरांगनाओं की बात करेंगे जिनका योगदान कभी भुलाया नहीं जा सकता। प्रत्येक मंगलवार परिक्रमा में सुनिए अपराजिता, देश की वीरांगनाओं को आकाशवाणी का सादर नमन।
And now, let us endeavour to know more about the special places that are nestled in the cozy corners of India's northeast. Today we take you to the bustling city of Dimapur in Nagaland, which is the commercial hub of the state.
Today we take you to Nagaland in the bustling city of Dimapur, the commercial hub of the state. Dimapur is the gateway to Nagaland and is one of the fastest growing cities in the northeast region of India. The word Dimapur is derived from the Dimasa word Di meaning water, Ma signifying big or great, and Pur meaning city. Thus, Dimapur means the city by the great river. A typical northeastern city in the state of Nagaland, Dimapur has always had a thriving tribal culture. It began with the Kachari tribes who made Dimapur the capital back in the 13th century and continues now with the Naga tribes making up the majority of the city's population. The ruins of Kachari scattered throughout the city remain a favorite among most travelers to Nagaland. Surrounded by the Dhansiri River and woody fields and hills, the city offers a picturesque landscape. Its bazaars are packed with imported goods and antiques from neighboring China, Burma and Thailand. Daizepi village has brought fame to the city with its beautiful handloom and handicrafts. Travelers explore Dimapur to get the feel of Northeast India and then use it as a gateway to other Himalayan destinations nearby such as Tibet, Imphal, Shillong and Jorhat. October to May is the best time to discover the city. The city's picturesque geography offers several natural attractions. Visit Rangapahar Reserve Forest for flora that is known for its medicinal value. Intanki Wildlife Sanctuary is yet another delight for those travelers who can appreciate rare flora and fauna. Triple Falls, a soothing waterfall and natural pool, is a popular trekking destination. Besides, there are many starlit attractions in the Dimapur like Zoological Park, Ao Baptist Church, Nagaland Science Center and the Green Park. Dimapur is well connected by rail, road and flights with the rest of the country. State transport buses offer comfortable and safe rides to most nearby destinations. Taxis and mini coaches are other available modes of road transport. This is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with Asuno from Kohima.
With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye.